Alright, what's going on everybody? Benji Kaiser here today talking about the graphic design student checklist. What do you need as you'll be heading to school this fall or spring that should be in your bag to make sure you're fully equipped to go to graphic design school coming at you right now? I got my bachelor's and my master's degree in graphic design at a brick and mortar university, and there are a few tools that I definitely needed and learned along the way that helped me create better graphic design pieces, not because the equipment helps you create better, but it gives you more efficiency and ease of creation. So let's start walking through those right now. First and foremost, without a doubt, you're gonna wanna snag a laptop. Now, what computer is best for graphic designers? I right now have a Dell XPS 15, but I was a Mac guy for years. I had a MacBook Pro throughout my entire college career and I loved it. If you're curious about the best laptops for graphic designers, I have included a link in the description below or in the YouTube cards above where I talk about the best laptops for graphic designers. I think that'll help you out. All right, now secondly, this is kind of small, but you want to have some good quality thumb drives. The reason being is, yes, there's a lot of cloud-based things. Yes, you can save things on your student folder within the university server, but I found so many times that my friends would lose their projects because the server would go down, or they were doing maintenance on the server, or somebody deleted their files off the server because IT does what IT does. And so I always recommend grabbing some thumb drives and backing up all your stuff on your thumb drives. I went as far as a graphic design student, I had it on my personal computer, but when I was in the midst of a project, I would do a dual save. I would save to my computer and I would grab a thumb drive and I would save my project to a thumb drive, because I can't tell you how many times I myself witnessed people losing projects because their computer died or a thumb drive died because they only saved it on a thumb drive. So make sure you're always doing double backups as a graphic design student, because teachers don't give grace. They don't care if your thumb drive died or your computer died the night before project's due. It's still due. Huge tip right there. Pens and pencils, obviously huge. It doesn't really matter too much. I always liked the Pentels because they're like the little click out ones and really long erasers, so for sketching and stuff. And then also there's some sketchbooks I really like, and you can check those out in the description below. I like the grid ones because they help you with logo design and layout design much better. And I definitely recommend checking those out. Links below. All right, another thing that I liked a lot was having a mouse or a Wacom tablet. I liked Wacom tablets when I was in illustration class. As a graphic designer, we took a Illustrator class in my master's degree, and the Wacom tablet was fantastic. If you don't know what Wacom tablets are, basically it's a digital drawing pad, and whatever you do on the drawing pad shows up on your screen. I'll link that below, you can check that out as well. Plus my favorite Logitech MX2 Master mouse, which I use often now because now that I have the Dell XPS 15, the trackpad isn't as good as on the MacBook Pro, so I use a mouse constantly. So I'll attach those below. All right, another thing you want to make sure you have is your own camera. This is something that I didn't have when I entered school and quickly realized the necessity of it. Why is having your own camera important? Well, as many free websites, photos as you can find, you know, there's things like Unsplash and Pixabay, and you can even get a subscription to Adobe Stock. There's a lot of times those photos just don't work for what you're trying to do. When it comes to graphic design, I often have to photograph specific scenes in order to make room for my text. I'm gonna do a video about how to photograph better sources for graphic designers. I find a lot of times people fill the space, the photograph, with the subject. But if you know, as a graphic designer, you need space for text. You need a nice blurred bokeh background or a nice shallow depth of field to lay your text on top of. So I think it's really important to be able to capture your own design sources, and I'm going to include some links below for some good entry-level cameras that are fantastic SLRs, plus some good mirrorless cameras, so you can really like search out your budget. Now, this stuff's expensive, so obviously it's not like cheap, but I'm not going to put in a $2,000 camera down there. It's going to be, you know, $600-700 for like maybe a kid, or maybe a little bit more if you want to get a little better. But you're investing in gear that's going to last you a while, so just don't go cheap. But I'm not going to list out the most expensive stuff, so just check that out below. Also, another thing you're going to want is a good bag with lots of pockets, lots of places to put your thumb drives, maybe your camera, your extra gear, your mouse, your Wacom tablet, etc. Because think about it, when you're running around campus, you don't want to have a cumbersome backpack. You want everything slide in really nicely. I like Thule backpacks. I've used a Thule before. Incase makes some great backpacks. If you are a Mac user, you can even use the Dell XPS in an Incase backpack. But just make sure you have a good backpack that's sturdy, that has a lot of good pockets and easy accessibility. I think that's really big. Don't get bogged down with a ton of extra little things here and there. You want to be able to travel light. You want to be able to get into the studio or the lab, the classroom, and just pull out your stuff and get working. I know a lot of people recommend all kinds of different paints and pens and color pencils, but just keep it basic. When you're doing your sketches, just sketch out some simple concepts, sketch out a lot of concepts, and then just hone them in from there. You can get some color pencils and do some color stuff, but I found that a lot of times I would work towards the computer with just basic black and white pencil sketches, so you don't have to get super fancy. Save your money for the gear that matters. Save your money for the computer, for the thumb drives, for the camera, for the Wacom tablet. Don't just blow money on all the extra shenanigans. I hope this video has helped you getting prepared to go to school as a graphic designer. If you have any questions, please comment below. I would love to answer those for you. I have about 7 years of graphic design school experience, as well as quite a few years in the graphic design professional industry, so I'm here to answer any questions that you have. I'm Benji Kaiser of BenjiKaiser.com. This has been an episode helping you get started as a graphic designer. Comment below, mash down on that like button, share this out if you think it'll help anybody, and I'll see you here on the next episode.